Thank you very much for your applause, and I'm truly, truly privileged to have a fantastic panel. It shows you the variety, and it's not only about tourism, but it's also about business and whatever these people here have been running in their own respective domains. I thank you, Mrs. Gill, for having us all here. I once told her that your forum is like T20 cricket. Unlike all other summits that we go to, these are very sharp, shorter sessions, quicker sessions. You're in and out and you get full paisa vasool because you have all entertainment lined up in an evening. So I promise you that we will be on a fast train because I've been also told to do so. We're running slightly behind schedule, so we'll make it quick, sharp, and informative. To begin with, Arjun, I'll come to you because I have a bit of a background of real estate, retail. It just intrigues me more and more when I meet you. And I never talk to him about hotels. Hotels come by the way, and we keep then get into those conversations. But whenever I meet him, I have so many questions that how did you do this wonderful story? First of all, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him an applause. Select City Walk, the mall that you all go to and love and keep loving, is this man's show, how he created it and makes sure that every year, every festival, when you're back in that mall, you still come back more informed and more delighted. Now, from one Select City Walk to Nexus, to Blackstone, to this huge engine. When I go to Chandigarh, Elante Mall, again a similar experience. How did you stitch this necklace of pearls? Your story, Arjun.
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Arjun, for inviting me. What a spectacular setting. Amazing friends in the audience. And my God, I haven't seen a big screen like this in a long time. So it's nice to be here. To your question, I don't think anyone plans these things, Jaideep. They happen organically. In all our businesses, we've always looked at doing what is right for the business, and at the opportune time, look at what the business offers in terms of the next opportunity. And as far as Select City Walk goes, it was a dream of three people, my sister, me, and my partner, Yogiji. And we created an iconic shopping center in the heart of the city. It still remains the highest sales per square foot shopping mall in the country, and its rentals are probably the highest in the country again per square foot. And over time we felt that we were a single mall in a single city, and in Blackstone we found a partner who was willing to kind of integrate us, not as an acquisition, but as a partner. And lo and behold, 2.5 years ago, we created India's first shopping center REIT. Today we are 11 million square foot of retail. We have 1 million odd square foot of offices. We have 3 hotels in the REIT, which include the Hyatt Regency Chandigarh, now the Radisson in Ludhiana, and an Oakwood in Bangalore. And it's our stated objective to kind of try and double this portfolio over the next 5 to 6 years. We also bought a large asset together, not inside the REIT, but as Blackstone and Select, a very iconic development called the South City Mall in Calcutta, which we acquired very recently, only three months ago. And we're integrating that, and we'll find a home for that, whether in the REIT or outside. The real objective is to play the India story, the India consumption story. And that is really, really a very strong story. And considering what the government has recently done with the GST reforms, it makes it a very compelling proposition for all of us to kind of play that. I know the previous panel spoke about capital. I think when I sit with my partners, Blackstone, I think they have a problem deploying capital. For them, it's the other way around. They're looking for ideas, they're looking for partners, whether it's the hospitality, whether it's offices, data centers, warehouses, hotels, malls. They really wish to deploy capital in this country. They have a large pool of private capital to deploy, but it's very often they don't find the right opportunities to deploy that capital. So really, it's about making sure that capital and partners meet. And in Blackstone or in other great private equity capitals like Brookfield, who did the Leela deal, there is a deal in the offing with Warburg Pincus. I can't talk about it. It's not out in the market, but there's plenty of stuff happening out there. And private equity is very, very keen on the Indian hospitality industry for sure.
Great. Thank you. A lot of data, a lot of insight. To all of you there who are on your phones and probably attentive, not so attentive, I'm going to ask you quiz questions. How well have you heard? How many million square feet are there under Nexus Retail at the moment? Ladies and gentlemen, keep watching, keep hearing this properly, because you're going to take back home a lot of insights. ऐसे free में नहीं मिलती. You have Arjun Sharma, Vice Chairman, Nexus, right? How many million square feet does he have? Anybody? No. Your staff. You can't speak. No. Okay, fine. But no, this is going to be interesting. So let's keep listening. A lot of this coming, to you. I take this now to the other real estate asset class, Suraj Morajkar. I fondly call him the Robin Hood. Ladies and gentlemen, you would have heard this saying called, it takes a village to raise a child. It actually took a village to raise this hotel in Nerul. The whole Nerul came together to make this wonderful Hilton hotel which sits there. And Suraj Morajkar, ladies and gentlemen, is a fantastic guy who's built this business in a very, very enterprising manner with that imported car that you bought, to the first villa development that you did, and then you started selling those villas to aspirational Indian businessmen, followed by Bollywood and Tollywood celebrities, and from there to this wonderful hotel. What a journey. Suraj, how do you put it? Will you do another hotel?
Thank you, Jaideep, for this wonderful introduction, and thank you, Kamal, for making me sit with this lovely audience. We see a lot of conferences in Goa, but it's a great opportunity for me to come from a village like Saipe, which is part of Kandolin, which is just about 2 kilometers away from the beach. So my fortune was that I was at the right place, right time, with right people, as Goa was just getting into the real tourism sector. But there was no real business that was happening in terms of very organized hospitality. There's only one hotel we had, Taj. Even the charters which came to Goa in early 80s, we didn't have many rooms. So I got an opportunity to start my real estate business, which I realized my little Goa was so beautiful, with the great architecture that was left behind by the Portuguese. I got inspired by that when I really came to know how beautiful Goa was, and I thought, why not I give a little piece of Goa to the lovely audience of the country? And I started my business when there was one flight coming from Bombay and just 2 flights in a week from Bangalore. So I got that opportunity to understand that the right kind of crowd came to Goa, and we built our real estate business to the right clientele, at the early 90s, where most of the hospitality were small condominiums of 400 square feet. They were mostly catering to the charters, which was coming from the Far East and also, from the European countries. So I got an opportunity because I was the first mover. I got the best of architects from all over the country, and then I switched it to other parts of the world, and I had a great clientele list, and the best thing that we incubated in our design was the architecture, the indoor-outdoor living, and the land was, when I bought it at 10 rupees a square foot. That was my first luck, devil's luck that I started with. And from there onwards, you see what's happening to Goa. And thanks to the number of flights that has come to Goa, I remember in 2007, there were 37 flights coming. And I just got a record from the tourism department just in the morning that we have 90 flights coming to Goa from each airports, which is, and it's great destination, 2 airports. So there's a long way to go, and I thank for all the people who came to Goa and build this industry of hospitality and the real estate. Thank you, Jaideep.
Jaideep, may I add, he's my neighbor in Saipe. We party together, and I've been there with him for 20 years, Suraj.
Yeah. So I remember Arjun walking to me one day, and he said, Suraj, should I buy this property or that property? And I advised him, actually one of the property which I was developing, but I advised him against that, and I said, Arjun, buy the other one that's not right on the riverfront, because I had the vision, and the vision came through a lot of these industries, the kind of people came to Goa, taught us, and I thank Arjun to come in, stay in my village, where they were one of the few outsiders from Goa who came and stayed and made our village. Outsider in terms of from the Goa. Goa never had seen any person from outside Goa. So he was one of the first guy, and we are very proud that we had a great neighbor. He has a great hotel, great employment for Goa, and thank you, Arjun, for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, we missed the bus, by the way, because now the price per square foot, I'm sure there must be a huge PLC that people would pay because Arjun Sharma is your neighbor, right? And then there are many others, and you've got a very prime neighborhood. When is the next project that you're doing, and where is it? Just give us all some tips, ताकि हम भी थोड़ा खरीद लें. Otherwise, एक और बस निकल जाएगी, isn't it?
See, as far as hospitality, I will just tell you that little bit of hospitality and real estate. Whereas the real estate is concerned, most of our cash flows come from the real estate business that happens. But hospitality is a very long, gestation sort of a thing. So we thought of, one of the reasons that we thought of doing Hilton with the international architect from Singapore, Blink, we got in. So we decided to do a hotel and residences around it, because we already had an infrastructure of residences. So my projects are mostly, facing the water, facing the river. So we as a brand, Sun Estate, we only do projects which has 80 to 90% visibility of the nature, because I find Goa is so beautiful. So we do homes which are looking into water, paddy fields, rivers. So most of them are about 5 to 10 minutes away from the beach of North Goa right now.
And the other trivia is, since you talked about it, the first time I met you was through Tarun Tehliani, because he was doing those homes, right? And that's how we met. Hilton was still, I think, in some sketch, or maybe under some construction.
Yeah. So, I remember meeting Tarun in early 2000, when I was helping him to build a house. So I said, Tarun, you guys make wardrobes which remain, the clothes that can remain for like maybe 2 years, 3 years. Why don't we make homes which remain for posterity? And that's how I encouraged Tarun, which he always said to me that, I'm a frustrated architect, and that's how we started doing these homes, and we built the first iconic hotel, Sol de Goa, which became one of the best new hotel Asia in 2011. And from there I realized that building so much real estate, we never got so much publicity, but that one hotel got us on the map and inspired me to do more hospitality projects.
It was very stylishly done, I must say.
Thank you.
Beautiful jewel. Now, hotel plus residences going to hotel branded residences, right? So we are also sort of just moving along, right, the curve. Jimmy Mistry, you've done very enterprising work. For the first time when I got the call, I couldn't figure out what is this all about, right? So you were a little ahead of your time, the way I see it. And now there is a story building up on branded residential for sale. Then there is a lease-back model, and we keep hearing a lot of this is happening both in resort markets where you are concentrating and also in tier one first home markets. What is the story? Your story, when you started, where is that opportunity that you identified and you thought maybe this is the time to begin, because by the time everyone else will wake up, I would be on the road to success. Jimmy.
Jaideep, thank you for having us. Good evening. Well, we've always, as a group, been ahead of the curve in doing whatever we've been doing, and that's kind of become our signature now. As far as experiential hospitality is concerned, bringing in adventure, hospitality, and second homes together, we started about 15 years back. And the experience that we've gathered of building an integrated township and a theme-based integrated township which doesn't exist in India today. So if you spoke of real estate, you spoke of hospitality, you spoke of nature, if you can bring in the concept and the theme into it, it becomes a whole different ballgame. So right now, Della Townships has invented a different model. In real estate development, there's JD, JV, there is DM. We've invented a CDDMO model, which is a fourth version and a variation, and there can be many, many more versions, which is conceptualization, design, development, marketing, sales, and operations. It's an asset-light model in real estate. But coming to integrated township developments, which are promoting resort living, which is the branded residence story, be it in category A townships within the city or outskirts of the town, bringing in conceptual developments within the city rather than just a branded residence, also adding in things like medical wellness that we are bringing in from Europe now, and adding in retail that we spoke about sometime earlier when we began this session, but luxury branded retail on outskirts of cities, something like a Bista Village does. India never had retail luxury outlet malls, and this becomes a first. So 10 cities is what we've identified to roll out this year. 5 we've already pre-launched. It effectively puts the number of inventory into about 3,000 keys to be soft launched this year. So that's the kind of volume and magnitude we are talking about. Integrated townships, theme-based concept, adventure, medical wellness, bringing in experiential hospitality, and then adding in luxury retail. I think this combination works very, very well. None are present, and if we can go ahead and roll this out in the manner that we've envisioned, it will be ahead of the curve, and people would take a lot to specialize in these domains that we've been doing for the last 15 years. I think there is a lot of potential in the country. I keep saying India is a very poor country filled with rich people. So we have enough spending capacity in category A, B, C townships. There is a dirt shortage of the kind of ecosystem required for luxury living, and if we can deliver it, I think we are at the right place at the right time this year.
Great, thanks. If you would have noticed, ladies and gentlemen, that we've sort of touched this big elephant of hotel asset class, but we haven't really touched it. So we've spoke about retail to begin with. We've spoke about residential real estate and hotel, and then we spoke about, again, complementary branded residential and complementary real estate development. Now we zoom straight into hotels with Debasree. I know Peerless is, again, a conglomerate. You have various business interests, but you got into this business and then concentrated as Peerless Hotels in a particular geography, right? And what I believe at that time, there was not much competition. They were largely Indian-grown hospitality chains. They were all making a mark, and so were you. And then came this whole flux of, hotel chains and international companies. Debasree, first of all, what's your mojo in terms of still making it work? And when you have a lot of competition, how you sort of in fact, competing with it and striving your business in that excellent mode that you've been doing all these years?
First of all, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Kamal, for having me over, and it is indeed a pleasure to be amongst you all. If you ask me what is that driving factor, as a group, Peerless is a 90-year-old conglomerate, and we are well diversified into finance, in real estate, healthcare, and our hospitality experience is 30 years plus. So in this 30 years, we saw that we started creating a niche with one of our branded F&B product, which is known as Aheli. This is India's first fine dining Bengali cuisine restaurant. And at the same time, Calcutta property, which is the flagship, created, it is still flagship, and it has created an impression amongst the people about with the terms of service quality, the guest experience. So that has been one of the key factors and the driving factor for us to keep, running and operating and managing our own property. We spread our wings across, West Bengal, in Durgapur, in Mukutmanipur, and then we had our wings in Hyderabad as well, and as well as in Port Blair. So to answer you, I think the human touch, the very fact that we have been focusing on guest experience, the very fact that we have prioritized processes. So over the years, we have been able to gather a lot of guest loyalty. There are people who come back to us not just because of our product, but because of the deliverable, the comfort factor that they get from us. So that has been, one of the key drivers for us.
Wonderful. I move on to the demand segment, and it's important because we're in that transition phase, and it's changing so fast, all those demand patterns. Who's my guest, who's my buyer, who's my shopper, right? So Arjun, to you, how are you sort of looking at future-proofing retail? And I say this because retail, a shopper and a hotel guest have, it's somewhere similar asset class. It is capital intensive, it needs consistent curation to make it work, to make it meaningful, to make it attractive. With e-commerce nibbling away footfalls, do you think malls are facing a midlife crisis? Are we in that situation? And at Nexus Retail, how are you keeping the quintessential retail irresistible in the digital age, if I may put it this way?
At one level, we run an asset class called shopping centers. But at the real level, we run a community. We run a community where there is entertainment, there's dining, there's shopping, there's celebrations, and there's every emotion that a family may need at different times of the year. So if it is, for example, in the South City Mall, if you go there, there's a fabulous pandal of Durga Puja going on right now. We'll have the finest Christmas tree in our malls, whether it's in Navi Mumbai or our 4 malls in Bangalore. So we'll celebrate every festival. In fact, there are places where the cities don't do anything, but we as a community do that. And I think that is one big thing, is that we are building communities and experiences. And that is the biggest future-proofing for every business. If you purely depend on just the pure business and the commerce of it, whether it's hospitality, you will have issues at some point of time, because disruption will come into play, whether it's a new hotel or a new asset that comes up around you. So I think that's one. Yes, technology is changing. Online shopping is happening. It's a reality. But the environment that we are seeing is called the phygital economy, where the two are converging. Today, I have to tell you that, a chain that's actually going IPO, Lenskart, right? They started as a digital forward business. But today, the digital part of their business is minuscule compared to their physical presence across the malls, whether it's Nykaa. So there's a convergence of both the digital and the physical space, which is happening. And that is very good for it. Thirdly, if you look at our occupancy, we are about 97 or 98%, somewhere in that zip code, occupied. There's a waiting list of Indian brands and international brands that want to come into shopping centers, and so do the digital first plays. So it's actually a very happy spot to be in. And we, for one, are very happy because instead of selling a room every night, which every hotel has to, we sell a room for 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, and then we work along with the tenant. It's not as if we leave them on their own. It is not just a relationship which is a commercial relationship. Their success is our success. Their well-being, the stakeholders, all involved, have to be a part of a winning team. So the customer must win, the tenant must win, we must win, and the community that we are playing in must really recognize us to be that place. And really, if you put all these, ingredients together, you have the secret sauce.
Wonderful. I move to the residential buyer. I call it the boxed-in buyer dilemma. Jimmy, if I may ask you, when someone buys a branded home, let's say in Goa or Lonavala, where you're outside Mumbai, they're kind of locking themselves in for that one destination, pay a lot of capital towards it. Do you think, buying a holiday home is like marriage? You're committed, and it's a long-term commitment to one location. Whereas as a holiday seeker, you would like to go to various places and need to have variety. Maybe the example that I used is a wrong one, but what is the dilemma that a buyer faces, and how are you addressing that?
Jaideep, it's quite simple. So far, concept-based townships and accommodations are not available. Resi is not available. So if there's a golfer, the availability of a 18 or a 9-hole golf course and to have a villa on the edge of it, or to have a branded residence within it. If you're into equestrian sports and you love horses and animals, to be in a race course, was not simply available. Now that we made it available, we will have a different genre of buyers. So you would have never planned to go to Nagpur, but if I give you a branded residence at 3 crores in Nagpur on the golf course, you might just change your mind and say, what the hell, I'll take a 1-hour flight and I'll go there. So there is a whole different genre of buyers. We are not into vanilla real estate any longer. You're not building a township to sell in Nagpur to Nagpurians or in Indore to Indorians.
So it's a lifestyle that
it's a whole lifestyle that comes with that, and it is going to really be a game changer. So salutogenic townships and ways of living and thinking are very, very different. Integrated townships which provide these concepts are very different. Also, an SLB model works very, very well. So you are into a marriage, but the marriage is going to yield results. A sale and lease back. So when you're running a hospitality company, the rentals at which you can lease back real estate can never be compared to a resi real estate. So in Goa, if I'm building something in Karambolam and I'm saying, okay, I'm selling and leasing back, I can give you a 9% RE return for 9 years in a row, and I lock it because I'm using it for hospitality. At the same time, I'm not dependent only on SLB model because I'm already having an inherited 125 key resort. 180 keys can come on a sale and lease back out of the 1,000 villas you're delivering, right? So the combination of these things works magical.
People at the back, please enjoy your coffee, but please be aware that there is a lucky draw after this panel. Jimmy is going to sponsor a holiday home in Alibag. And if you're not satisfied with Alibag, there's a wonderful development in North Goa, close to the airport, that Suraj is now going to start. And we're going to give them a branded residential home. They don't even know what they are missing out, right? Okay, Suraj, to you, we spoke about the buyers and the changing patterns of the buyers. Is the pricing of luxury residential holding, or is it withering? The sales velocity that we all saw in Goa in 22, 23, or after COVID, is that pricing sort of reached a pinnacle, and how's the demand unfolding? What do you think?
Well, in Goa, most of the houses that have been built with a lot of herd mentality, which started in sort of a post-COVID, when people realized that there's a good ROI. Yes, like Jimmy said, there's a good ROI, but that needs a lot of planning and it has to be properly put up in place. But having said, from 2019 to up to 2023-24, we had about 60% appreciation year to year post-COVID, and it flattened up now. The prices have flattened up now because there's a lot of inventory that has come in the picture. Now, Goa was so cheap that a lot of people came down from all over the country who had no professional engagement of building homes. They came and they just started, just building. So the prices might fall if those guys who have borrowed money and are trying to sell them with a panic, the prices might fall. But there's always the interest for a single dwelling homes, which are located more scenic, looks into something, and those are end users. But the ones which are looking into each other's, those particular homes are really, sort of going down. But the demand for Goa always remains. As long as you have the best architect, like we have Jimmy here, which I really want to one day, maybe if I can afford him, I will maybe work with him. And so obviously, I know some people who are doing work with him. So the prices will always appreciate, because I call Goa a small destination, and we have the entire country that is having an aspirational home there. Like everybody wants a house. I'm sure the next house that I'm going to sell it to you, basically, Jaideep. I know you've been inquiring, but you're not yet bought, so let's go for it.
Jaideep, I have a little to add over here.
Sure.
So we're talking about price points in India in luxury or mid-luxury segment. I think India has a long way to catch up. We are only beginning. We have not even scratched the surface. Jaipur, Indore, Nagpur, I can go on and on, Raipur, they are all within 7,000 to 9,000 is mid-range of real estate. Bangon, 10,000 bucks, sub 10,000 bucks. Goa is 14, 15, you know it better. But I think if you compare Bombay and Gurgaon, which has now gone to over a lakh of rupees a square feet, rest of the country has a huge catching up to do. Hyderabad is one city that will have a fantastic catching up to do, because that's sub 20,000 bucks. Today, a good real estate cannot be built and sold unless and until the cost of building is at least 25% of the cost of sales. Today, if you're selling an apartment at 7,000 bucks, your cost of construction is 3.5. In 3.5, you can never deliver luxury. So India, this is only the beginning of the story. Rest of the cities are going to catch up, and it's going to be magical. Goa may plateau right now, but believe you me, bring an Oberoi 360 like Mumbai building in Goa. It may be a lakh 30 in Bombay. Goa will still fetch 50 and 60,000 bucks if you build a product like that. So the non-availability of product is not the reason for determining prices in India. And I am very, very upbeat about the country and the market. I think there's a huge amount of catching up to do. But build quality products.
Absolutely.
Interesting that you said this, because residential real estate pricing and average room rates of hotels, they go, in a way, the graph is very similar. And I always say this to hoteliers that, listen, you never saw a real estate developer bringing down the price per square foot even in a bad market. Don't bring the average room rates down. You have to work on that revenue management, maybe provide some freebies in a bad time. There are ways around it rather than just crashing the price down. Residential real estate, we never see that.
We call those ways experiences.
You call that what?
We call those ways experiences.
Trade experiences.
Ways experiences.
Okay. All right. That's a fantastic term. I'll take it back to the hotels and you see, Debasree, I was talking about the demand and the guest. Who's my guest? Who's my buyer? Who's my shopper? Who's your guest? Is he changing? Given the loyalty program, stronger brands around it, so many more offers, etc., how do you manage to control your hotel demand or your guest?
Absolutely. I mean, guest demand and experience and expectation, they keep changing. What we have noticed, for the last couple of years, there are a lot of conscious guests, who are looking for what we are doing in terms of sustainability. So it is more of an aware consumer. They don't, of course, they like to splurge, but they want to do it in a very responsible manner. So as much we have guests coming and enjoying themselves in a luxurious way, but they would also like to blend with what is there and know about the culture of the place. So which is why I'll again take back the example of the authentic fine dining brand that we have, Aheli. Now going ahead to meet the consumer demand, we have gone up and dug a deep down. We did an R&D on what has been the influence seen from different aspects, and relaunched it as Aheli Renaissance. So, one has to upgrade themselves to meet up to the guest experience, whether in terms of room upgradation or guest experience overall. So we have to constantly change, upgrade, adopt technology. So this is how we have been able to meet up to the guest demand.
I know I'm not doing justice to all of you, because you're powerhouses in yourselves, whatever you have achieved. I hope it was not a T20, but probably a one-day match. At least we could have spoken about other things, and there are many things on my script, by the way, and my friends here know we've not touched ESG, we've not touched technology, and many other things that I thought we will touch, but for another time. Maybe I can request Ms. Gill that we will do a 2.0 with the same guests next time, so that we can continue this conversation. But before I let all of you go, maybe a quick rapid fire, just one question to each of you. I'll give you two options on the next development that you, or next business that you would like to do. Suraj, to you. Would you like to do the next hotel, next branded residential?
Jaideep, we have coming from Goa, I'll definitely do hotels for sure. As I said to you, we picked up land at a very early stage, and we have a very stable government policy called IPB, which is called Investment Promotion Board, and all the hoteliers. It's a very great opportunity. Government gives you single window permission for hotel, hospitals and schools. I would rather take that opportunity and build about at least 800 more keys in 4 different hotels, because they are superbly located. I already have acquired them long ago, but since this IPB has come in place, and I would love to sort of partner with anybody who wants to buy them. But my job is to, we're already talking to investors, and we will be doing very exclusive top-end hotels, and some we will do residences along with them. But my focus is to do...
You're not letting go. You'll do both. I said one.
Yes.
Okay, fine. I know you will do both. Arjun, I'll come to you towards the end. Debasree, next hospital or an insurance company?
Of course, hotel.
None of the above. Okay. Jimmy, next fashion brand? Or tell me what you like to do.
I'm all gung-ho about salutogenic living integrated townships, and there are 5
वो तो कर ही रहे हो, और क्या करना है?
और कुछ नहीं करना है. We've got 20,000 crores of real estate in the pipeline this year. I don't think we can afford to do anything else.
Okay, great. Thank you. Arjun, would you like to buy the next cricket team or do the best golf course oriented real estate development?
Oh, golf any day. It's my complete passion. I would choose that, and I think that's really how I lead my life. It must interest me. But I have to share with you, if you ask me that question, what would be the next different investment? So we're just actually embarking upon creating our first mini hospital, a small hospital project. It will start in Delhi. It's called the Honest Women's Hospital. It's only for women, and honesty is the key to it. It's a very big word, and we will explain it when we unfurl it. But yeah, I'm very excited about that business. And of course, we'll continue to build our shopping malls. There's a pipeline that I can't talk about, but certainly on the way. And by the way, incidentally, even though I'm very strong on the retail side, I still continue to own 2 hotel assets outside the REIT, which I'm very passionate about, and I hope to build on that as well. So yeah, I think life is good, and why not build on it? In fact, building in India is just the most right thing to do. With a GDP growing at 6.5–7%, this is where all the action is going to be. It is there today, and it continues to be. And I don't think people like Donald Trump distract me too much. I think there's a bigger picture out there with the India consumption story. I just wish we would get our inbound story corrected. And I think Jyoti Suri alluded to it a little earlier on in our program. I think domestic tourism is the current backbone. Hospitality industry survives predominantly on the weddings and socials. The numbers are all coming in from there. And what we are seriously lacking is growth of inbound tourism. So if we can get that act together, and if the government will listen to Amitabh Kant, that 20,000 crores that needs to go into tourism India, I think we have a game changer. You could see this industry skyrocket.
Thank you for summing it up so wonderfully. Actually, he was the anchor, not me, because you've done it, and what a hopeful way to finish it, Arjun. Thank you very much, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, they're very enterprising people. Please follow them. Keep Googling them. The next big idea is coming from all of them here. Thank you very much.